Good afternoon, guys. I'm sorry for not posting the last couple of days. Things have been interesting. I think I'm having the quickest instance of new job regret. I told you guys last week how excited I was about this new job I was getting, where I basically got to set my hours and what days I work, and got to pick and choose what jobs I got. And I was like so excited, and like, oh well, I can work an hour a week, get $10, work 4 weeks a year, 4 weeks a month. That's like $40. Work 5 hours a week, that's like $50. So I can make not a decent amount of money, but enough that I can afford like a treat once a month. I can get my phone card, I can save up and do all that stuff. Reality is quite different. I was able to get my first assignment yesterday for this job. It will be placing coupons on vitamins at the local Target, and that job is estimated to take me a grand total of 45 minutes. 5 minutes for prep time, 30 minutes to actually do it, and 5 minutes to do the survey at the end. And that's it. So that's a 45-minute job. I only get paid for a full hour, so I'm not even going to make a paycheck, really, on that job. So that's not even an hour. And they had the exact same job at another Target in the next town over, which I would have gladly taken, except it's in the next town over. As all of you know, I don't have a car. I have a bike. And my parents might be willing to drive me to a job here or even to a job in Bay City. They are not going to be willing to drive me to jobs in Saginaw and Flint. I'm sorry. I mean, I know those towns are great, but they're not willing to drive me that far, especially with gas being as kind of expensive as it is in this part of Michigan. So yeah, it's not worth it. And there is an option. I could talk to my supervisor and see if for travel expenses to get reimbursed, but they can actually deny that. And it's based on if you do the job like right in a row. So I would have to work at Target in Midland and then somehow get to Saginaw, and then they would think about reimbursing me. And I'd have to have so much, and it had to be done in so many minutes. Like, I'd have to be able to get there in like 10 or 15 minutes. So that's not possible. The only good thing is they won't automatically assign me to jobs outside of Midland, because they will only automatically assign you a job if it's within 15 miles of where you live. And thankfully, none of those places are within 15 miles of Midland. We're kind of like a bubble. So that makes me relieved about that. But this job, and you're like, oh, it must be really soon. No, I'm not actually reporting for this assignment until August 14th. So this assignment isn't until the 14th of August. I need a job now where I'm actually literally working and making money now. I think I got sucked in by this idea that, hey, I can make my own hours. That would be great because I'm a writer, and I'm in the midst of writing this massive Star Wars series. I'm in the midst of one of the hardest books in this series that will be to write, because it is a rewrite of the Clone Wars series, which was over 100 episodes just in the first 5 seasons. And it can be and I'm trying to make it this very deep, complex thing, and I need all that time to do research and stuff. So it'd be awesome to have a job where I work for like a couple hours a week and can devote the rest of the time to writing and sewing and helping out my family. And I can't, One of the reasons I want to get a job so bad is this whole thing with my mom's card, which sometimes I doubt and then sometimes I think it's real, is because I like being independent. I liked it when I was working at Staples, and I liked being able to go out and buy my own groceries and buy my own toiletries and stuff like that, so I didn't have to ask my mom to buy them. Because in certain instances, I have to use certain products. Like for my teeth, I have to use a certain brand of toothpaste, which is like almost $4 a tube, but it's the only toothpaste that works for me. And so I don't want, when we need to be focused on eating food and stuff, I don't want my mom to have to go out and pay almost $4 for a tube of toothpaste. Much like I don't want her to go out and pay $25 for me to get a phone card so I can keep using this phone, because we have an emergency one, but that's the emergency one, and she doesn't want me using that one that often. So it's like, I don't want my mom to be paying for my phone. I don't want her to be paying for most of my food or for my toiletries and stuff like that. And I certainly don't want her to be paying for any of my Star Wars stuff. She's already bought me so much of the Star Wars stuff. Like, she bought me my first 2 lightsabers. You know, I got Luke's, and then I got, I think I got real Luke's, because Luke's was just a cheap plastic. It didn't even light up. And then she got me Anakin's, and I did not want her to buy those for me, especially the Anakin, the one I got, which lights up and makes noise stuff. I did not want her to get that for me, because that was like $20, and she got it for me anyway. That's why I hid the fact from her for a while that I went out and got Obi-Wan's lightsaber, the same style, because I did not want her to pay for it. If she knew I wanted it, she would have paid for it. I didn't want her to. So I didn't want her to do any of that. I don't want my mom to put out the money for my Star Wars stuff, because I want to be able to sit there and say, look, this is my stuff. This is my fandom. I don't want my mom to be the one paying for me for all my Star Wars stuff, for my Disney stuff. I don't want her to be the one doing that. So, I mean, she got me R2-D2 for Christmas and BB-8, but that was Christmas. But I don't want her paying for anything else. I mean, so I'm really, at this point, I am upset that this job that I thought was going to be great is now starting to look like, and I just got hired there, is now starting to be like, I mean, not even the hotel was this bad this fast. And I was working relatively solid hours. It just wasn't paying enough for me to move my rent. So I sound really flittery and fidgety and picky. But at the same time, I'm remembering the jobs I had before. My first 3 jobs were not awesome. Staples was good. Staples was a good job, a great job. And I regret leaving because I had a steady income. I was getting paid enough to live on, to buy my stuff, to do my treats. And now Seasons of the Force is starting in like 2 months, starting on September 1st, and with Force Fridays, and I can't even do anything really for that, because next month I'll probably get the Rebels Blu-ray, and that will be it, and I shouldn't even be getting that because I'll need another phone card in October, so I'll probably just get a phone card. So I'm just terrified about what's going to happen, because this job isn't going to make enough to live off of. So I actually went yesterday, and after assigning myself the job at Target, I went and I applied for like 4 more jobs, because I really, really, really need a steady source of income. So if anybody out there in Midland, Michigan is watching this, I am looking for a job. I apologize for my limited travel thing and stuff like that, but I am desperately in need of a job that I can use to support myself, to be able to buy stuff for me, and to get some of the burden off Mom right now. And even after a point, I don't want Mom to be buying me my stuff. I want to be able to do stuff, and even to a certain extent, I want to be able to take my brother out and get him treats and stuff, so that so that Mom doesn't have to fork over the money for that. So I'm just frustrated right now and trying to get a job, and I really don't know what to do. It's just, I'm so frustrated that this job that I thought would be really great is days later I'm only realizing that I feel like I'm getting taken advantage of, because the only way I'm going to make money off this job is if I'm working like every other little job like this 5 days a week. And the problem is most of those jobs aren't probably going to be in Midland. So I'm going to have to pretty much take every single job that pops up in Midland just to make a decent wage. And they actually said that you might not get to work every week. Well, I thought, okay, every other week. But now it seems like I'm barely going to get to work, maybe get a job assigned to me that I can do like once or twice a month, which is not enough. So I have no clue what I'm going to do. Just like I'm going to get a $10 paycheck from doing orientation for this company. Less than $10, actually. That money is going to go towards getting more toothpaste and a toothbrush. So I really don't know what to do at this point. Just keep sending positive thoughts my way. Please keep me in your prayers. I really have no idea what I'm going to do. I'm completely lost. And I'm actually feeling guilty because I actually went out today and I thought this job was going to be great and I'm going to make all this money. And I got the new Battlefront book. I got Inferno Squad, which I've been calling Inferno Squadron, and it's just Squad. But I got that, and now I feel really guilty because that's $20, just like the shoes that I ordered when I came home that I don't have. And now I just spent $20 on that book, and I'm going to spend $40, maybe over almost another $90 next month to get the Rebels Blu-ray, and a phone card. And my mom's okay with all of this, even though I told her how much money I have. And this time last year, I had, and like before, and like not even 3 months ago, I had over $2,000 in my savings. And now I'm like down to less than 400. So I'm just frustrated, and I don't know if there's anybody else out there in this similar position of desperately trying to find regular work. I just don't think it's fair. And what really gets me is, I try not to be political, but what really gets me is a few months ago, even before I left, was hearing politicians talk about how it's people's fault they can't get work, how they're just lazy and they don't have a work ethic, and that's why we need to get them off, cut their welfare and stuff like that. I'm not on welfare. I have Medicaid because that's how I get my health insurance. But I don't have food stamps. We don't have food stamps. We don't have housing assistance. We don't have anything like that. And I am desperately trying to get a job. And I know I can't afford to do stuff like what I just did today, going out and getting the latest Star Wars book. I know that, and I'm making the conscious decision to do that. But at the same time, I'm also making a very conscious effort, a very conscious decision to do my hardest to get a job that pays well and will help me support myself and maybe even get me out of my parents' apartment. And it's just, I just hate it hearing politicians say people like me are lazy. I am not lazy. I am actually a very hard worker. I am a very good worker. And I wish a politician or even the president would come and spend a day living in my shoes and see what it's like to live our life. And then I would love to see if they have the gall to call us lazy and undereducated after that. I am a college educated person. It's an associate's, but it's still a college education. I went to college. I graduated. And now after leaving one job to try out another, I can't find steady work to save my life. So, hi, United States government. President Trump was talking about his inauguration about how he would speak for the forgotten people. I'm one of those forgotten people, and I don't feel like anybody's listening to me at all. So, I would really like my voice to be heard, and I would really like all the politicians to know that, hey, I'm one of those people who is being called lazy because I don't work, because I'm not working like I should be. It's not that I don't want to work. It's that I want to work. I can't find a job that will offer me the steady income I need. So, hi, we're the people of America. Can you listen to us for once instead of yourselves? And listen to what we want? I don't know. I'm sorry. I really did not mean to get political. I would make the worst politician. Like, seriously. I have no poker face. And I'm too nice. That's why I'm not supposed to be working in retail. I'm too nice, apparently. But, this whole situation is just frustrating, and I really, honestly, I don't know what step to do next. I just keep applying and keep hoping. But I feel like people just look at my resume and just go, nope, we don't want you. So, I seriously don't know what to do at this point. I will just keep doing my best to keep pushing forward, and hopefully sooner or later I will be able to tell you guys great news. I got a steady job that's going to let me work, and I'll be earning money to support myself, and I'll still be doing all the things I love, just not spending as much time on them. But I really just don't know. I can't believe I even applied for that job. Because it's stupid, because I knew it was nothing. I knew it would be a junk job, and I took it anyway because I needed something. So, I just don't know. So, like I said, keep sending me positive thoughts, keep me in your prayers, and hopefully soon I will have good news. But I'm sorry this vlog is such a downer today, and I don't really have lots of good news. I promise you that as soon as I read Battlefront 2, I will get back to you guys. I actually have a ton of books here that I haven't read yet that I will be able to let you guys know how they are. They include A New Dawn, which I'm reading right now, which I've read before, and it is awesome. After that is Guardians of the Wills and Rebel Rising, which are young adult books, followed by the movie novelization for Rogue One, which I'm really looking forward to reading. And then I have the New Hope novelization, which technically you don't need a review. And then that will be followed by Battlefront 2 Inferno Squadron, Heir to the Jedi, and Battlefront Twilight Company, followed by the last 2 books. And then I've got Aftermath, Life, Death, Empire's End, Bloodlines, and that's it. So I've got a few more books to read so I can tell you guys how I feel about them. So also, if you're a Shadowhunters fan like me, I highly recommend the Tales from the Shadowhunters Academy book, which I have. In it, one of my favorite stories is the story where Alec and Magnus, which, spoiler if you guys don't know, Alec and Magnus in the new Dark Artifices series, they have 2 kids. One is a Shadowhunter boy from South America named Rafael Santiago and Lightwood. And the other, that was the second child they adopted. The first child they adopted is this little warlock boy they named Max, who is blue, totally blue, head to toe. Absolutely adorable. And one of the stories, which is all about Simon at the Shadowhunter Academy, one of the stories in the book is actually how little Max comes to be with Alec and Magnus. And it's one of my favorite stories in the Shadowhunter universe. I love, sad as it is, I'm kind of conservative in some of my views. One of my favorite all-time fictional couples is actually Alec and Magnus from Shadowhunters, because I think they have an amazing relationship. They have to overcome so much to be together to a certain extent, just like Jason and Clary. But I think they have more to overcome in terms of the fact that they're guys, and one's a warlock, one's a Shadowhunter, so you have the mortal life and stuff like that. So I just love them. I think they make an adorable couple because they're total opposites. So I love reading about them in the books, and I love watching their relationship on the Shadowhunters TV show. I was absolutely devastated by Monday night's episode when they got into a fight. I hate it when Alec and Magnus are fighting because I'm like, oh my gosh, I would love to be their kid. I would love to be raised with them. How cool would that be? You have one dad who's like this amazing warlock who can do all this magic, and this other dad who can kick demon butt. That would be like the best childhood ever. So I feel like they're kind of like dads, and they're fighting, and it's just like my parents are fighting. I'm like, no, don't fight. So I'm like really, really praying they don't break up. That's kind of sad, but they're like next to Jason and Clary. They're my favorite couple from the Shadowhunters, from the Mortal Instruments. I love Alec and Magnus. They're so cute and adorable, and I was so upset when they were fighting. So I really, really hope they fix everything between them, because I don't like it when they're fighting. Like I said, they're like my dads. I don't want them to fight. So I love Alec and Magnus, so I really, really hope they get that. They fix everything. So yeah, cross my fingers. Now I'm happy because now I'm thinking about Shadowhunters. I'm thinking about Alec and Magnus, and I'm picturing Magnus in my head holding the little baby. It's so cute. I can't stop thinking about it now. Magnus holding a baby in his arms. And just the scene they describe in the story with, like, all the light words are there. Jason and Clary are there. And they're baby proofing. And it's like, whoa. It's absolutely hysterical to me. And I don't know why. I just feel like Alec and Magnus are, like, a great couple. So, I also think it's because one of the things I noticed is that to be a great couple, you have to have this really deep level of trust. And I'm actually talking with a guy right now about whether or not he and I would make a great couple. We have differing views on sexual relationships, though, like highly different. So he's very, very much open and into it, and I will admit this, I'm actually terrified of sex on a certain level because there's so much trust you have to put into it. There's so much intimacy. And I will be the first to say this, I don't have the best examples other than fictional examples, and even then they're not the best examples of what a good relationship with trust and intimacy can be. So I don't really have any good examples to follow, so I'm actually terrified, even though it's my dream to get married and have a family, and I know what's involved with that, but I guess on some level I'm terrified of getting into a relationship because I haven't actually been in any sort of romantic relationship since I was 15. So he wants to see if it could work. I don't think it will. I would love to see if we could try and make it work. But I know that he would want something that I can't give too soon. But he wants to see if he can make it work because we're both Star Wars fans and we both have the same kind of values and faith. And even then, the main difference is I'm practicing and a practicing Lutheran and he's not. So that would be kind of a bumper car. So I don't know. There's so much stuff in my life going on. Like when I came back from Ekina, I would never have guessed that this is where I would be. Desperately searching for any kind of steady work and debating about getting into a relationship with a guy who has a vastly different opinion about when sex should come into the picture and stuff like that. So I really don't know. It's insane to me, you know? When I was little, I thought I would be married by now with like 3 kids. So this is completely different. This is not how my life was. I pictured my life being at all. You know, this, not even Star Wars was this bigger part of my life. So just like they say, always in motion the future is. So I guess my future still has yet to settle down. This is going to be one heck of a crazy adventure. So I'm going to get going. I need to get lunch. I need to try and finish writing my chapter for Crossing Battlefields. I'm not looking forward to the next one. The next one is, I think the next one is Legacy of the Force or Future of the Force. It's the one where they have to go get the kids. And in that one, it's like bouncing back and forth between Mace and Obi-Wan with Bane trying to get the holocron, Anakin and Ahsoka going after the kids. So they bounce around to Rhodia, Naboo. There's Mustafar, there's Coruscant, they're on a ship. There's Mace and Obi-Wan falling into, like, Bane's trap. There's so much stuff going on in that episode. Like, when you watch the behind the scenes for that whole story arc, one of the producers is like, he doesn't understand why that one episode was not 2, because there was just so much stuff going on. It's a crazy episode. So that is going to be a really tough one to write because it's certainly going to be bouncing back and forth. And I have no clue how I'm going to fit Annalise into it. So, but at least I'm almost done with Cargo of Doom. I'm at the ending, which is relatively easy. So hopefully I get everything fixed and get it posted today. And then it's off to play Old Republic. I almost said Battlefront, but Battlefront's not out yet and I don't have the first one. Yeah, I'm an Old Republic girl. Hey, I finally know what Green Jedi are. I was totally confused because I had never even heard of Green Jedi, even when I was a young Star Wars fan, a fat Star Wars fan, so I never even heard of the term Green Jedi. And so playing Old Republic and then seeing Green Jedi, it's like, what the heck is a Green Jedi? So that phrase kept getting stuck in my mind, and I actually went online and looked it up and realized, oh, they're the Jedi, they're the Corellian Jedi. Hey, they're actually kind of cool, so I think I might want to be a Green Jedi. They got to wear green robes, and I like green. Green's one of my favorite colors. So, yeah, so now I know what a Green Jedi is. I'm so proud of myself. And the sad thing is they're not canon anymore. They're part of the Legends universe. Bummer. So, still cool. So, I'm going to get going. Like I said, food. Priority is food. Food, always a priority with me, is food. If you cannot tell. I love food. I'm doing very good. I feel like I'm actually losing more weight. But still, food, priority, food. Writing, watching, and all I mean, I'm going to watch the Binghams and the Garners, which you guys have to check them out. I'm still pushing them. They are still freaking amazing and awesome. Hazy is like the most, I love the Bingham kids because they're like so totally off the rockers. These boys are unafraid of anything. Like they are flipping, they are going nuts. And then you have little Hazy who just turned 2, who is trying to keep up with her brothers. And she's like just like trying to do everything they do, like flipping and stuff like that. I'm going, oh my gosh, and she is so adorable. And she's such a girly girl, but she's going to be such a tomboy, I feel, when she gets older. Because she has all, even her dad goes to extremes. I mean, this is the dad who, last year or a couple years ago, he broke his leg at the skate park because he was barefoot and he was going down one of the ramps. And he slipped and he severely broke his leg and needed surgery. So, yeah, it's funny. He's like, he does not do good at skating park. Like, they had their one son's birthday there and he was just like hoping that nobody broke a bone. So, and it was the kid who just broke his collarbone too. And they signed the kid up for parkour. So, they're a really cool family. I love them. I love the Garners too. The Garners are actually in LA right now to do promotions for the TLC show Rattled, which is one of my favorite shows. I love Rattled. I love Art Daughter. They're out there doing that. And tomorrow, they're actually going to be appearing on one of my favorite shows, which is Home and Family on Hallmark Channel. I love Hallmark Channel. I love Home and Family. I don't watch it as often as I was. I'm going to get back to it, though. But I love Home and Family. It's an amazing show. One of my favorite episodes they did was actually a Star Trek reunion, so that was pretty cool. So it was awesome. I love Home and Family. They're going to be on that tomorrow, so I'm definitely watching it tomorrow because I can actually see it! Most of the TV shows the Garners do are like in Utah, and I don't live in Utah, so I don't get to see them. But they're going to be on Home and Family tomorrow, and I can watch that. So, now I'm happy. Now my bad thoughts are drifting away, but they'll come back probably later tonight. Which is why I will happily be on Old Republic, pounding the snot out of Sith and Empire. And I'm not a violent person. I swear I am really not a violent person. I swear, I promise I am not violent. Except in video games. I'm going to get going. Thanks you guys for watching. I will talk to you soon. Lots of love, hugs, and prayers from this wild, crazy, and out of control mission. Well, not out of control and not wild and crazy. More like sedate and bubbly. I love you guys. Bye.